Across the deserts of southern Peru, under layers of wind-blown sand and silence, lie skulls that should not exist. They are longer, smoother, and eerily symmetrical, almost too perfect to be human. For nearly a century, archaeologists have debated their origin, whispering theories of gods, lost civilizations, and even otherworldly visitors. But recent scientific breakthroughs have shattered the barrier between myth and fact. DNA from these 3,000-year-old skulls didn't just challenge archaeology. It rewrote the genetic map of ancient humanity. What if these skulls aren't proof of aliens, but of something even more unsettling, a forgotten human chapter, a transoceanic connection stretching thousands of years before history officially began? Tonight, on Hidden Realms Explorer, we dive deep into one of the most disturbing mysteries in archaeology, the Paracas skulls, and reveal what modern genetics uncovered, what mainstream science hesitated to admit, and why these bones may hold the secret to humanity's oldest migration. Because if the DNA results are real, then history, as we know it, is a lie carved in stone. Our journey begins in 1927. Under the relentless Peruvian sun, archaeologist Julio Tello and his team unearthed something that would haunt science for a century, a network of underground burial chambers carved with impossible precision. Inside these ancient tombs lay over 300 skeletons, wrapped in ornate textiles more sophisticated than anything known from that era. But what truly froze the team in disbelief were the skulls, tall, tapering, and unnaturally elongated. They called the site Paracas Necropolis, and radiocarbon dating later revealed the burials were nearly 3,000 years old, long before the Inca, long before even the Nazca lines were carved into the earth nearby. At first, scholars dismissed the skulls as the result of head binding, a cultural practice where infant skulls are wrapped to achieve a particular shape. But the symmetry, the volume, the bone structure, none of it seemed normal. The Paracas skulls were not crude distortions. They were elegant, consistent, and, above all, deliberate. To understand why an ancient people would alter their very biology, we must look at who the Paracas truly were. An isolated coastal civilization that flourished between 800 and 1000 BCE, mastering textile art, cranial surgery, and ceremonial engineering centuries ahead of their time. Their tombs spoke of hierarchy, of priest-kings and a ruling elite who believed their bloodline was closer to the divine. In this world, an elongated head wasn't deformity, it was destiny, it was a crown. The question that tore through anthropology was simple. Were these skulls purely the result of human tradition, or evidence of a unique biological heritage? Artificial cranial modification was not unique. The Maya, Huns, and African tribes practiced it, yet none matched the perfection of Paracas skulls. Some displayed a 25% increase in cranial volume, and many lacked the sagittal suture, a natural seam present in normal skulls. X-rays and CT scans revealed bone densities inconsistent with deformation. These skulls looked grown into their shapes, not molded. If that were true, it would mean the Paracas elite might represent a genetically distinct lineage of humans. But hard science demanded proof: DNA. In 2014, a team of geneticists carefully extracted mitochondrial DNA from preserved Paracas hair and bone fragments. Working in sterile labs across the US and Europe, they expected to find native South American haplogroups, the genetic fingerprints of the Andes. What they found instead broke every assumption. The sequences didn't match any known indigenous markers. Instead, the data pointed toward haplogroups H, U2E, and T2B, lineages commonly found in the Caucasus Mountains, Mesopotamia, and Eastern Europe. In other words, the Paracas elite carried foreign DNA from across the Atlantic, thousands of years before Columbus. How could that be possible? If confirmed, these results imply something earth-shaking, that transoceanic migration occurred thousands of years before any known seafaring culture. Imagine it, a forgotten people, perhaps shipwrecked or exiled, crossing the vast Pacific or Atlantic, bringing their genetics and beliefs to South America. Such a revelation would collapse the standard model of human isolation and regional evolution. It would mean that human history was not linear, it was interconnected. Some researchers speculated about ancient global networks, trade routes, shared mythologies, and synchronized architecture from Egypt to Peru. Pyramids, mummies, solar cults, too many parallels to ignore. But the mainstream scientific community hesitated. They warned of contamination, of small sample sizes, of unverifiable chains of custody. And they were right to demand rigor, because extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. Yet even with further testing confirming human origin, the genetic anomalies persisted. If these people were human, whose humans were they? Were they descendants of a lost maritime culture, refugees from a cataclysm, or a forgotten branch of early Homo sapiens that migrated far earlier than we thought possible? Each theory opens a door. Under dawn, so be. And behind every door lies another missing civilization. Out of this fog of discovery emerged two rival narratives. The academic view: the Paracas people were entirely human, practicing cranial deformation to signify power and divine connection. Their foreign genetic traces could be explained by ancient migration waves from northern Asia through the Bering Strait, or genetic drift, not impossible contact across oceans. This wasn't coincidence, it was continuity. The Paracas elite were the heirs of a global civilization that vanished in prehistory. What diffusionists call the mother culture. Legends name it Atlantis, or Mu, a civilization destroyed by cataclysm, whose survivors carried fragments of technology and memory across the world. To its believers, the elongated skulls were not deformities, but attempts to replicate the appearance of their lost ancestors. The true gods of antiquity. Each wrapped infant head was a vow, a reminder of who they once were. And somewhere between these extremes lies the truth. The Paracas skulls remind us that human identity is not static. It's be your awesome, and sign, mind shrine. It's dear unvertine sti, size, undenentard. Besir tapestry woven from countless migrations, losses, and rebirths. Maybe they were not aliens. Maybe they were the echoes of us, a reflection of humanity's forgotten reach. The Paracas skulls are not alien relics. They are mirrors reflecting humanity's greatest paradox: how much we've discovered and how much we've forgotten. Their DNA tells a story of connection across impossible distances, of bloodlines that refuse to obey geography. Whether born of migration, memory, or myth, these skulls whisper the same haunting message: that our ancestors may have known the world far better than we do. Every new discovery adds one more thread to a tapestry we thought we'd already finished. Perhaps the Paracas weren't outsiders at all, but reminders that civilization has risen and fallen more than once, and that history's first great age might not have been our own. So, what do you think? Are these elongated skulls evidence of a forgotten global civilization, or are they the ultimate proof that human curiosity has always stretched beyond borders and beyond belief? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this exploration into the unknown, hit that like button, subscribe, and join us next time as we uncover more hidden realms that challenge everything we think we know about the past.